spotting the subtle early signs of dementia can make all the difference. Recognizing these alarming clues early on could help you protect your loved ones from a more serious decline. So hit that like and subscribe button and stick with us until the end of the video to learn a great deal about the signs of dementia. Number 10. Memory slips. One of the earliest symptoms someone prone to dementia can experience is a loss of memory. You may not tend to notice these changes because of how minor they can be. The gradual descent to memory loss is often very mild and slow. It always begins with short-term memory loss and then progresses to the more dangerous form of memory loss, the permanent kind. Surprisingly, a person suffering from dementia may be able to recall incidents that might have occurred several years ago. Still, they would not be able to remember something as small as what they had for dinner. That's how complicated this whole thing is. Some of the other ways a person may express loss of memory would be not being able to recall where they've kept their belongings, or it could be something as simple as why they've come to a certain location. They could reach the place and be clueless about why they got there. Or it could be a loss of memory when it comes to the tasks they have to perform. It could be something as trivial as leaving the stove on and forgetting to turn it off. Before you know it, you're looking at some burnt food. Number 9. Word struggles. This is another very early symptom of dementia. You know when a person is trying to have a conversation with you, but they keep forgetting the names of the characters in the story they're trying to explain? Well, that happening once or twice is completely normal, but when you notice a person constantly repeating the same sort of difficulty, that's when you might want to consider the possibility of dementia. The person suffering from dementia is sure to experience a major difficulty when trying to express his thoughts. You will observe them struggling and fidgeting to find the right words to express themselves. Or it could be something like an abrupt halt when communicating. They could just suddenly stop right in the middle of a conversation. It could take them a good amount of time to get back to where they left off. That's why it's sort of essential for us to be patient while talking to a person with dementia. They might need a little more time than usual to be able to convey their feelings and thoughts. Number 8. Mood shifts. It's a little distressing when you're so excited to do something together with a person, but they just don't seem into it anymore. They appear lost and very moody. While these could be signs of depression or something else in general, a constant loss of interest in hobbies or even just life could mean the person might be suffering from dementia. Listlessness, or apathy as one might say, is a common symptom of early dementia. A person with dementia may completely lose interest even in the things they once loved to enjoy. They might be so uninterested to the point that even getting them to step out of the house would be a task in itself. You might also witness them distancing themselves from friends and family and become pretty much emotionless. So pay attention when this happens with someone you're close to instead of taking their disinterest personally. Number 7. Task troubles. On to our next early indicator of dementia. A lot of symptoms revolving around dementia involve not being able to complete things. If you've noticed someone experiencing a subtle shift in the ability to complete everyday tasks, it might be time to consider the possibility of dementia. It all begins first with a slight struggle doing bigger and more complicated tasks. Some of these could include just keeping track of the water bills at home or trying to stick through a manual while putting together a device. It could also involve not being able to understand the rules of a game. It's not just the familiar tasks that take a toll on a person. A patient suffering from this condition may even find it difficult to learn new things. Number 6. Direction loss. Now, this might not be one of the earliest symptoms, but it is sure a very significant one. Once a person is confirmed to have dementia, their sense of direction along with their spatial orientation might end up taking a huge toll. And it only gets worse from there. They could even end up struggling while traveling even through the most familiar parts, so learning about new parts and directions is a whole other question. Even if the instructions are broken down and laid out step by step, if dementia is the cause, the patient is sure to have a tough time trying to understand and digest these things. Number 5. Judgment lapses. Cognitive decline, particularly in conditions like dementia, can severely impair an individual's ability to make sound decisions, leading to potentially dangerous situations. This decline affects the brain's capacity to assess risks and process information accurately, which are crucial for daily decision-making. For example, a person with dementia might lose the ability to recognize hazards in the environment. They might try to cross a busy street without considering oncoming traffic, unaware of the danger. This lack of awareness can lead to serious accidents or injuries. Similarly, they might dress inappropriately for the weather, such as wearing summer clothes during winter because they no longer recognize the need for proper attire based on environmental conditions. Another significant consequence of cognitive decline is the loss of good financial judgment. Individuals who were once prudent with their finances may begin to make poor financial decisions. They might start giving away large sums of money to unfamiliar people or causes, unable to discern whether these are legitimate or scams. This can result in significant financial loss, leaving them vulnerable and potentially compromising their financial security. The deterioration in judgment seen in dementia is not just about making occasional mistakes. It represents a profound change in how the individual perceives and interacts with the world. These changes make them increasingly dependent on others for their safety and well-being. Therefore, understanding and recognizing these signs of impaired judgment is crucial for caregivers and loved ones to provide the necessary support and protection. Number 4. Item misplacement. If you've noticed someone struggling to keep things in the right place, try and pay a little more attention to them. If this is constant behavior, this could be a very important symptom of dementia. Now, I know it's a very common thing to misplace your keys or lose your wallet every once in a while. That's something we all fall victim to every now and then. But if this behavior is a little too exaggerated in a person's life, they might have to be a little more concerned about what the consequences might be. For example, let's say someone puts salt in tea instead of sugar, or they end up leaving their phone inside the refrigerator. Something as silly as this could mean a lot more than it seems. Number 3. Interest fades. Losing interest in friends, family, and favorite activities can be a concerning sign, especially when it happens to someone living with dementia. While it's normal for people to occasionally lose enthusiasm for certain tasks or social obligations, they typically regain their motivation after a break. However, for someone with dementia, this lack of interest can become a persistent issue. Dementia affects the brain in ways that can make a person more passive and withdrawn. Activities or relationships that once brought joy and fulfillment may no longer seem appealing. The individual might stop participating in social gatherings, avoid hobbies they once loved, or even lose interest in spending time with loved ones. This passivity is not just a matter of mood, it's a direct consequence of the cognitive decline that impairs their ability to initiate or engage in activities. Often, people with dementia need external cues and encouragement to get involved. Without these prompts, they may remain disengaged, further isolating themselves. Recognizing this change is important for caregivers, as it highlights the need for supportive interventions to help maintain the person's social connections and quality of life. Number 2. Visual confusion. A person with dementia may experience difficulties with vision, depth perception, and movement, making it extremely hard to navigate their surroundings or accurately place objects like a pencil or a mug on the table. These challenges can be symptoms of dementia, which is why, in severe cases like these, it's very important to consult a doctor and an eye specialist for a thorough evaluation. Number 1. Abstract challenges. Have you or someone you know started struggling with understanding numbers and symbols? While it's normal for anyone to occasionally find tasks involving abstract thinking, like managing finances, a bit challenging, the situation can be more serious for someone with dementia. Dementia can make numbers and symbols confusing, turning something as simple as reading a clock or balancing a checkbook into a daunting task. The person might not only lose track of calculations, but also struggle to grasp what the numbers represent or how they function in everyday life. For instance, paying bills, counting money, or even recognizing the importance of numerical information like dates and phone numbers can become confusing. This isn't just a momentary lapse in concentration, it's a deeper issue where the brain's ability to process abstract concepts begins to fade. And that's all for today's video. Don't forget to like and subscribe before you leave. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one. Want to know the 8 critical signs that show that you have liver damage? Check out this video to find out.